We begin with a classic noir setup, a defeated detective, a grim room, and a loss he refuses to accept. Inspector Arjun is sitting in the dark, haunted by grief over Mira's death, when his quiet isolation is violently interrupted. The official report on Mira's death carries a very specific stamp: case closed. In law enforcement, that stamp is designed to provide comfort. It tells the public that order has been restored, and it gives investigators permission to finally sleep. But Arjun doesn't sleep. He carries an overwhelming guilt, convinced that Mira had something left to say. He rejects the institutional comfort entirely. That rejection is validated when a distorted, encrypted voice note lands on his phone. A breathless voice whispers, "Room number 13. Mira zinda hai. Muche bachao." Mira is alive. An administrative cover-up relies on a quiet victim and a compliant investigator. When the official truth is exposed as a deliberate lie, it creates a terrifying vacuum. The rules of reality Arjun relied on are gone, replaced by a darker question. If they lied about her death, what else are they lying about? Arjun returns to the abandoned hotel to find a changed landscape. Fresh scratches line the walls, scrawled as if from the inside, turning the building into an active threat zone. He takes the elevator down to floor 13. The crumbling exterior of the hotel completely contrasts with what he finds inside: a hidden, high-tech, underground medical laboratory. This diagram outlines Project Lazarus. A deceased citizen is processed into a memory erasure phase, then funneled into an experimental subject output. The system actively deletes their memories, wiping their identities to harvest them as blank slate material. Zooming out reveals hundreds of interconnected subject nodes. Yet for Arjun, this massive bureaucracy narrows down to a single, devastatingly personal discovery: Mira, trapped inside one of the glass chambers. She isn't resting peacefully. She is conscious, her body hooked up to monitoring wires. She is actively being harvested by the machinery around her. Weakly, she opens her eyes and tells Arjun the hardest truth yet. Her initial death was entirely staged from the very beginning. The scope of the story has shifted. Mira's death served as the entry point into a vast sci-fi horror, where the evidence of a homicide is actually the trail of a systematic, bureaucratic harvest. The slow clap of DCP Vikram echoes through the chamber. He steps from the shadows, placing himself directly in Arjun's path at the moment of discovery. But Vikram is heavily injured. He lets out a weak laugh and tells Arjun he is merely a disposable pawn in a much larger game. Vikram reveals the true structural hierarchy of the conspiracy. He is just a middleman. Above him, a massive, shadowed authority represents the actual antagonist, the system. As the truth comes into focus, we learn the mastermind is the police commissioner. The head of Arjun's own department is the architect of Project Lazarus. The psychological devastation of this realization is immense. Arjun's safe haven, the commanders he reports to, and the badge he wears are the actual center of the conspiracy. He works for the monster. This leads to a frantic, doomed rescue attempt back at headquarters. Arjun tries to fight his way out with Mira, but he is hopelessly outnumbered by heavily armed institutional security. The commissioner welcomes him back, knowing the trap is sprung. He activates a lethal lockdown, sealing room number 13 and releasing gas into the chamber. Arjun is no longer a detective trying to solve a crime. He has been forcibly downgraded to an active target, fighting the very institution he swore to protect. The blast at room number 13 throws Arjun outside into the chaotic aftermath. The physical toll is immense, leaving him battered in the rubble of what used to be a high-tech facility. He only survives because of Mira's tactical sacrifice. In the final moments, knowing the institutional trap could not be beaten from the inside, she pushed Arjun back through the doors, telling him he has to take the truth to the outside world. Then comes the emotional gut punch. When the smoke clears, Mira's body is completely gone. The only thing left in the wreckage is a single tape recorder. The phrasing she uses on that final recording is chilling. She says she isn't dying, she is being relocated. That specific word choice proves the system maintains absolute, ongoing control over her existence. She is inventory to them. The commissioner disappears seamlessly back into the everyday crowd, untouchable. Then an unknown number rings Arjun's phone. A distorted voice tells him that Project Lazarus is just the beginning, and his game has only just started. In a reality controlled by corrupt institutions from the top down, finding the truth doesn't grant closure. It doesn't solve the case. It merely initiates a permanent, inescapable survival thriller.